Hello, good morning. I hope that you're all well and that you've had a good week. There was no Flosstube last weekend because on Sunday Ray took me to one of our favourite hotels in Devon, which is the neighbouring county, and we had a couple of days there just to chill and relax, spend quality time together with the boys, and just to celebrate my birthday. And with regards to celebrating my birthday, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for the birthday messages that came in, whether it was on Facebook or Instagram or Messenger, email, telephone calls, cards. I was just overwhelmed by the kindness of my friends. So thank you very, very much. We had a lovely time. It was obviously winter, but on the Sunday, the weather, the sun was really lovely. And as long as you were out of the wind and you were in the sun, it was really pleasant to sit out. And Ray and I and Bertie Boo and Hugo, we had lunch outside on the terrace at the hotel. And the sun was, we were lifting our faces to the sun, and it was really, really lovely. Even the boys sat with their faces up to the sun. They really enjoyed it. We ate too much. I've certainly put on some weight the last week, and I've also seemed to have consumed an awful lot of chocolate this week. I've got lots of things to share with you. One of the highlights of the week for me was this box being delivered, and it came so beautifully presented, tied in ribbon, and it's an adorable little box actually, and I had no idea this was coming. And when I opened it, inside was a business card and this sweet little envelope. It's so tiny, and it was actually sealed with a little sticker, and then inside on this tiny little card was a message, and it says, "Hi Nicola, thank you so much for your purchase. Hopefully you'll be happy with your order. Thank you, Jenny." Now, I didn't order this, but I sort of guessed it was a present. And very shortly afterwards I managed to find out who it is, and it's one of my bestest friends, and she did some wonderful things for my birthday. This just wasn't the only thing. So if we open it up, it is this absolutely gorgeous pin cushion. It is just delightful. So beautifully made and beautifully embroidered as well. This is a real treasure. So thank you to my bestie. I appreciate that. And for anybody who's interested in Ginny's work, there's her business card. You'll be able to freeze the screen and note the details down. I'm sure I'm going to be making some purchases myself from Ginny. Very, very nice. Okay, so what else came this week? A book and a beautiful bookmark. This bookmark is from one of my needlework friends who lives in Hungary, and this is some Hungarian embroidery, and it's a beautiful bookmark with my initials on. And I just love the little charm that's on the end of the tassel. It weights the bookmark and works beautifully. I love the pattern, and her stitching is exquisite. So thank you very much to my friend who sent me this, and the chocolate. I devoured the chocolate. It was quite sort of coincidental that a book and a bookmark arrived completely independently but on the same day. And this book, I haven't had chance to actually read it because this week's been really hectic, but it's by Kate I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that surname, but there it is. And it's the dress diary of Mrs. Anne Sykes, Secrets from a Victorian Woman's Wardrobe. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of background about the book. it says the book is teeming with history and detail a fascinating exploration of how even the smallest scraps of fabric can open up large stories. And that is so true. I know this is talking about fabric, but I'm going to relate that to samplers. The smallest, simplest of sampler can open up large stories. So this book is in 1838. A young woman was given a diary on her wedding day. Collecting snippets of fabric from a range of garments, some her own, others donated by family and friends, she carefully annotated each one, creating a unique record of their lives. Her name was Mrs. Anne Sykes. Nearly 200 years later, the diary fell into the hands of fashion historian Kate Strastin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Using her expertise, Kate spent the next 6 years unravelling the secrets contained within the album's pages. Piece by piece, she charts Anne's journey from the mills of Lancashire to the port of Singapore, before tracing her return to England in later years. Fragments of cloth became windows into Victorian life. Pirates in Borneo, the complicated etiquette of mourning, poisonous dyes, the British Empire in full swing, riots over working conditions, and the terrible human cost of Britain's cotton industry. This is life writing that celebrates ordinary people, not the grandees of traditional written histories, but participants in the everyday. Through the evidence of waistcoats, ball gowns, and mourning outfits, Kate lays bare the whole of human experience in the most intimate of mediums, the clothes we choose to wear. Now, when you read an introduction like that, you know, this book just sounds so tempting to pick up. I can't wait. I've been pretty much exhausted this week, so I haven't had a chance to dip into it. I want to start this when I can get into bed at night and have like half an hour just to unwind and to absorb the book. So hopefully next week I'll be feeling back to normal and we'll be able to do that. I finished my project that I showed you in my last video, Mary Cornwall. I only had a couple of alphabets to put in, so I managed to finish that. I got some good stitching in while we were away, and I also made a start on this little sampler. It's red again. At the moment, I need to work with red. And here she is. This font, it's so interesting to work. I really am enjoying this little sampler. Very pretty. Just can't beat a red sampler. Now, talking of samplers, I have 3 models here, and I have one antique sampler that came, I can't remember if it came in the week or the week before, but here it is. A simple little sampler. And the reason I just had to grab this one was because of the verse. Lost, somewhere between sunrise and sunset, 2 golden hours, each set with 60 diamond minutes. No reward is offered, for they are lost forever. And that's so true. I'm a great believer of making every second of my day count. From the time I get up to the time I go to bed, I'm never idle. What I love to see on this sampler is some information. And it says that this sampler was worked by Mrs. Salmon, wife of Charles S. Salmon of Legston, Arbroath in Scotland. And it was given to my grandmother, Anne Nee Mackay Clark, who was something before, who was their maid before she married Alexandra Wright Clark. Mrs. Salmon used to spend a holiday on their farm every year until her death. Clive A. MacDonald, nee MacAndrew, granddaughter of the Clarks, right, the 5th of the 10th, 2006, he wrote that. Then he also added, this is probably a wedding gift as the Clarks married on the 9th of December 1898 in Kirriemuir. I think that's really, really nice that that information was recorded on the back of this sampler. I think that's going to look really, really pretty stitched up. This fabric, it's a very high count. This will be something like about 20 count. And it's going to be a lot smaller when I stitch it. Very, very pretty. Nice shade of blue as well. Okay, so the 3 models that I have out on the table. I know that there are a lot of people waiting for Hannah Campbell from Ballypalladie in Ireland. She is very close to being released. I had hoped to finish everything this last week. It was the week I sort of scheduled to do things, but I've been really engaged on other things. In March, I am doing 2 presentations in the UK, so I have to now focus on preparing myself for those. I hope that Hannah will be ready for April. We shall see. I shall try my very, very best. The other little sampler I have on the table is this little one of Pretty Polly. This was a sampler that I had intended to release on the 20th of February, but it just went out of my mind, and I'm so sorry. I had it all ready to press the button to for it to go public on the 20th, but it just didn't happen. So in the week I did make that available. That is a free PDF download available on the Hands Across the Sea Samplers website, and I can tell you that well over 1,000 people have already downloaded her in about sort of a day and a half. Enjoy her. She was charted by Sandra and stitched by Leona, and she's a gift from Hands Across the Sea Samplers to everybody who enjoys our designs. So thank you. Bertie, do you want to just sit down, sweet pea? Do you want to sit down? Do you want to sit down? You want your breakfast. Mummy will do it after this video. This sampler, Sarah Rinder. My gosh, she's having a wonderful reception from the needlework world. I'm not, it is a beautiful sampler. It's a very unique sampler, and I know that Kathy of Needle of a Haystack is so touched by the response and the support for this sampler and her 25th anniversary. Everybody is very busy gathering the supplies, which were far more than we ever expected. So thank you to everybody. You're a funny boy, Bertie Boo. Bertie's actually going quite grey. His muzzle's going grey now. When he hurt his eye last year, it really aged him, and this eye, it's opaque now, but the vet said he can see out of it, though it would be like a bit blurry, a bit fuzzy. You don't let it bother you, do you? No, you don't. You mustn't get old, because you've got to live forever, because Mummy would be lost without her, Bertie. Such a good boy. Okay, I'm starting to go off a bit. Scissors. Bertie, darling, come over here. You sit down. That's a good boy. He's a good boy. Scissors. Kahana. On the 28th of February, they are releasing what they call their new limited edition colours. Now, I was really disappointed because the colour is pink, and we've already had 2 pinks from Kahana. But there is a slight difference between these pinks. This is a much deeper pink than this one. So I don't know if the scissors releasing on the 28th of January is a different shade of pink. I'm really pleased for everybody who didn't get the pink last time, so they will have a pink for their collection. But I had wished it was a different colour. I would really love a lavender or a lilac or a mauve. That would be a really nice addition to their collection. Or even something like an apricot would be really, really nice. But there we are. Hopefully over the years those colours will come. But anyway, if you haven't got a pink, look out on the 28th of February when that colour releases. Okay, do you know what? I think that's about it for this week. Another short video, I'm afraid. I shall try my best to find more content for you next week. And until then, stay well. Oh, hang on. Next week, I'm not here. I'm going to be in Yorkshire doing a presentation to a retreat. Sue's coming with me. If we have time to do a video, we will. But when you're at retreats, time just goes in a flash. So I might not be here next week. It might be the week after. But until then, stay safe, stay well. Bye-bye.